I am the victim. The point is, I'm suffering. Blind to how I am causing other people suffering.
From the Big Island of Hawaii, welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono by Alexander Noman, offering relief for all relationships with a focus on anger assessment and resolve.
Aloha, Alex here with Aloha Speaks once again. And today I wanted to barrel ahead and then realized to stay current. There was a report that I saw with this doctor talking about the 5 stages of grief. And it's what inspired today, because I'm not going to go through the 5 stages. It was because the first stage is denial. And it's well known. The point being, denial is the first stage of grief. And with all the work that I've done, I see the parallel so closely between grief and anger in the world of suffering. And in the world of addiction, the first step in the 12 steps addresses denial. And the first word being we admit, it's actually the second word, but admit it. We were powerless over our addiction, over alcohol or whatever the addiction, and that our lives had become unmanageable. So it's a tricky, very tricky. In me, it's tricky and slippery. It's a slippery slope, this denial. And there's this song that I think of, that I get reminded of, that, again, very old. It's called The King of Nothing. And I go, yeah, I can relate. I am the king of nothing. And I go, no. I'm the king of something. I am the king of denial. I know this. And how I look at denial is in the same realm of the ancients. In the East, they had this word called Maya. And it in English, in fact, with the capital G, capital I, the grand illusion, that's what Maya meant. That the world is this grand illusion, that what I'm looking at, everything I see, is an illusion. It's this philosophy, right? I'm not getting into that kind of a thing, but that's how I equate denial. That what am I to trust in myself? Because it's always this outward. And what I have to realize is that that the illusion is about me. That this grand, capital G, capital I, grand illusion, this Maya, is that it's a lie, that I'm lying to myself on some level, right? Or a very specific level, some level, specific level, but I am lying to myself. I'm in denial. But the thing about denial is that I don't know that I'm in denial. So all through my life, people would say to me, "You're in denial." The first thing I would say to them is, "No, I'm not." That's my answer. No, I'm not. That's the whole idea of denial. That there's what it leads to. Being in denial, with the title of this, the notes here, is that the denial dash blame dash betrayal. It's a whole cyclical thing that as long as I am in denial, see, it's all tied into whatever the addiction is. That's symptomatic. It can be whatever, especially if it's relationship related. I mean, especially, it's always relationship related on some level, and completely unaware of it doesn't change the fact it's impacting it. There's a blame proponent that creeps in. It's allowed, it's required. It has to be part of the being in denial, means that I am in that position to blame. And by that proponent being in place, as soon as blame is in place, it's a setup for betrayal. I'm betrayed. When betrayal happens, I'm in pain. And it's somebody else's fault. And I'm hurting. Poor me. I've been betrayed. Look what they've done to me. And it can be anybody. Look what the IRS did to me. Look what the bank, look what the grocery store did to me. It can be, it doesn't matter. I am the victim. The point is, I'm suffering. Blind to how I am causing other people suffering. Hey, there's this line in the book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Hey, ain't it grand, Ma? The wind stopped blowing. Like, as soon as I stopped drinking, just because I stopped drinking, there's no problems left. And meanwhile, I've caused so much wreckage in everywhere else. It's ridiculous. The power in the bondage that there is in denial is indescribable. The power of the freedom of acknowledging that, I am in denial. It's the first step. The whole point of this message to me, this is a message to me because it's a message every single day, is that so often it's like, yeah, that's what happened when that's that's part of the denial. That's how it was. They call it, like, if I, since I am an alcoholic, I mean, I can be so many things, right? Drug addict, whatever, but say alcoholic is alcoholism, not alcoholism. But that invitation, the slippery slope, the trickiness of it is that it is constantly, on a daily basis, inviting me to have the position to today of wasm. Oh yeah, now I'm okay. Now there's no problem because I'm not drinking. So it's not an issue. When it is, because that's the denial today. So I wake up today. Isn't it a beautiful day? No problem. Then I go into the day with no consciousness. Just I'm resting on my laurels. Danger, red flags. Every day I have to be aware. Every day I have to, because it's that key to freedom. It's foundational. It's fundamental. And it's a blessing. It's not a burden. It's a blessing. If I want to look at it a different way, that's up to me. It doesn't change the fact that it is a blessing, keeping me in that place, needing to acknowledge that denial is constantly inviting me. Hey, if I'm the only one this makes sense to, I'm grateful for that. I need it to stay in that, to stay out of the illusion and in that reality where the peace, where the suffering ends, and where the peace already exists. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful thing, this life. As always, aloha. And to close, clicking on the thumbs up icon supports Aloha Speaks, as well as clicking on the free subscribe tab. Mahalo.